working with isolating variables, and I'll try to use up more of the page here. But we have two equivalent fractions, okay? There's a couple ways we can go about this. One of the ways is to get a common denominator. Another way would be to cross multiply. And I'm going to show you how they're essentially the exact same thing. So I'll try to split the page into two, and then I'll kind of bring it back and just solve it one way. Let's say on the left here in red, we decide to get common denominators, okay? So here's my one denominator, here's our other denominator. So we have 2 over 2x plus 1 is equal to 5 over 4 minus x. Well, essentially what we're going to do is we're going to take this denominator and we're going to multiply it over here, 4 minus x, and down here also, 4 minus x. And then we're going to do vice versa. We're going to get this denominator here and multiply it by this, 2x plus 1, and by this, 2x plus 1. Okay. So when I go about doing that, I'll end up with 2 times, and I'm not going to distribute it yet, just because I want to show you how they are the same thing, over, need a little more room here, 2x plus 1 times 4 minus x is equal to 5 times 2x plus 1 over 4 minus x, 2x plus 1. Okay, so I got this great information here. I also could have, like we said, I could have cross multiplied. So I'm going to do that in blue, let's say over here. We start with our original equation, 2 over 2x plus 1 is equal to 5 over 4 minus x. Okay. When we cross multiply, I'm essentially taking these as a binomial, multiplying it there and multiplying it there. So I'm left with, we end up with 2 times 4 minus x, okay, is equal to, and we bring this here, 5 times 2x plus 1. Okay, so they look a bit different right now. This one clearly looks like it's got a lot more work than this question does. So we'll simplify this side, and it'll eventually kind of hand its way out here. So if we use our distributive property here on the top, we're going to end up with 8 minus 2x. We'll still have this denominator, 2x plus 1, 4 minus x. Now what I'm going to do, see we have this equal sign here, I'm actually going to bring this entire
thing over.
Yeah, bring it all over. So now it's going to be set equal to 0, our equation, because we've moved whatever we had over to the left side. Bring this line down a little more. And when it's over on this side, it becomes negative. Okay, so we have subtract, and this will be 10x plus 5 over 4 minus x times 2x plus 1. Okay, well now we have common denominators. These are the same. Though I've written them in different orders, they're technically still the same thing. So I'm just going to make this all one fraction. This one fraction will read, everything will be over 2x plus 1, 4 minus x. Okay, it's still set equal to 0. And then we can just put this stuff together on top. So we have 8 minus 2x minus 10x plus 5. Okay. Do I want to show you the other side yet? Okay, we'll continue here and I'll kind of show you how the other side was a much quicker way of doing this. We'll simplify what's on top. We have 8 plus 5, those are like terms, so that's going to be 13, so we have positive 13. And negative 2x minus 10x is negative 12x on top. Okay, still going to need room. We have our common denominators. Now, because it's set equal to 0, what's really nice about being set equal to 0 in your fractions is you can eliminate the entire denominator. You can just drop it all off. And the reason being is because think of it like I'm going to, whoops, that's not supposed to be a 5, that's supposed to be a bracket. I'm going to bring it over and multiply by 0. But anything multiplied by 0 just eliminates it, so it's gone. So now I'm left with negative 12x plus 13 equals 0. Much simpler to solve, right? This is easy, this is wonderful stuff. Let's go about solving it. This will become negative 12x equals negative 13. We end up with x is equal to negative divided negative is positive, so 13 over 12 is our answer. Okay. Now way up here, notice I didn't have any denominators. Well, I'm going to distribute, and I'm going to end up with 8 minus 2x is equal to 10x plus 5. And I'm going to bring both these terms to the other side. I don't technically have to, but I just want to show you where the similarities are. So we have 8. 5 will become negative over here. Did I mess up a step here?
I think the answer on the back is supposed to be 1/4. I believe.
This is good. I made a mistake. And what's good is because I went through this method. I made a mistake because when I distributed here, this should have been a negative distributed by both. And it should have been minus 10x minus 5, which makes 8 minus 5 is the value of 3. Oh, I don't need to get rid of the rest of that. So because this is now just 3, oh, it's really nice. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Ooh. X is equal to 1 over 4. Okay. And the reason I figured that out is because when I bring this 5 over here, this should be 8 minus 5, and negative 2x minus 10x is equal to 0. Now, we'll kind of try to get the bigger picture quickly, and I'll go back in and solve it again. But if you notice, this line here is essentially this line here. I should have got my like terms, but I clearly did way more steps on the left side than I did on the right side.
Right.
So sometimes, if you got something set up with equivalent fractions, sometimes it's best just to cross multiply.
So if they're equal to each other, just cross multiply?
Yeah, it's probably the fastest way you're going to find out. It probably depends question to question, but in this case, it was clearly much faster. So we end up with 3 minus 12x, which we already talked about before. The 3 goes over there. Negative 3, negative divided by negative is positive, 3 over 12, x is 1 over 4. Again, we did way less work on the right than we did on the left.